Social Security, taxes, Medicare, and investing are crucial to retirement planning, but some of the ways they interact can cause unnecessary risks if it's not managed by a team of professionals, and that's where Jonathon McCoy and the team at Market Advisory Group come in. Jonathon, thanks again for spending some time with us here this morning to talk about this subject. Let's talk about Social Security and how exactly it's taxed in retirement.
Well, it's tricky. So the IRS has a completely separate calculation for taxation of your Social Security benefits, and right now the maximum amount of your Social Security that can be taxed is 85%.
Okay.
I say that in a lot of our Social Security classes, and people say, "You mean they're going to tax me 85%?"
Like I have this much money, they're taking 85% of it? No.
Exactly. No. So it's not the way it works. It does get taxed at your ordinary income tax rate,
Okay.
if it gets taxed at all, but very simply breaking it down, Social Security is taxed primarily on the ratio of how much of your household income is Social Security, how much of your household income is coming from other sources like pensions, traditional income from retirement accounts, part-time or full-time work in retirement. All of those extra income sources will increase the amount that is taxed for Social Security.
So that affects how that pool is pretty much taxed, again, by what else you're bringing to the table.
Correct. And like we chatted about earlier, one of the difficult things here is they have not adjusted those Social Security taxability calculations going all the way back to 1983. So because there's been no inflation adjustment on those calculations, a lot more of the middle income class of Americans and retirees are being impacted by this.
Especially with inflation where it is today, I can only imagine how that really needs to be watched closely by someone like yourself there. Let's talk Medicare premiums real quick. Can they go up like the taxes here on our Social Security?
Yeah, there's what's called the income-related monthly adjustment amount. So the IRS and Medicare and Social Security have created certain income caps to say if you exceed those caps, and this is especially impactful for single individuals, but also married couples, where if your income exceeds a certain amount, your Medicare premiums will actually increase, and we're talking about those Part B and Part D, potentially Medicare premiums, not necessarily always going to impact your supplemental premiums, or if you're on Medicare Advantage, you know, a lot of those plans don't have a monthly premium, but your base Medicare premium for Part B can go up if your income exceeds a certain limit. Okay.
Well, let's talk. We have a viewer question here. This one's from Diana T. Diana asks, our investment account caused our income to jump in 2021, and we don't understand it. This is now going to cost us a lot in taxes, and we didn't even pull any money out. How do we keep this from happening?
Yeah, so in this conversation with Diane, in this circumstance, she was dealing with an advisor that had moved some things around in their brokerage account last year, realizing some capital gains. So those capital gains are a form of income that we often refer to as phantom income.
Yeah.
As she said, she did not withdraw the funds. It's not money that they spent, but it's still money they're going to have to pay taxes on. So we talk about the impacts on Social Security taxation, potentially the impacts on their Medicare premiums. These are all things that oftentimes are slapping people after the fact. And one of the phrases we throw around our office quite often, we don't try to be flippant about it, it's very serious, is if something's going to cost you thousands of dollars either now or sometime in the future, how soon do you want to know about that?
Oh yeah, immediately, right?
And ultimately that's why we work with our tax professionals as well as the investment advisors and the Medicare professionals all in one house, all at one conference table to make sure that we're uncovering some of those tax and expense landmines ahead of time.
All right, well, if you think you need that in your life, definitely want you to encourage to schedule a complimentary consultation here with Jonathon and his team. Submit your questions, visit askouradvisor.com or call 816-548-2000. They'll take your questions and even meet one-on-one free of charge. Now, if you include your address, Market Advisory Group will send you a free gift. Jonathon, thank you again for your time.
Thanks for having me.
And that great information. Greg.